Good evening, teacher.
Zainab, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
I am okay, thank you, God. Hiba is coming, that's great.
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening, Hiba. How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I am okay, thank you, God. Let's wait for your friends to come. Maybe a couple of minutes.
Teacher, I want to ask you some question, please.
Some questions?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can.
Uh, I have a book. In the book I used, they explain the past continuous in this way. When and while.
Uh-huh.
They said when we can use when, we must to put the short action after it. يعني the past simple.
Mm-hmm.
And when we use while, we must to put the long action, which
Mm-hmm.
is past continuous. Is it correct?
No, it isn't. No.
Oh,
Let me give you
Let
two.
me
Uh-huh.
let me give you some examples.
Please.
When example when I okay
Wait,
when
wait. I want to write the example. Wait. Let me open the
okay
file and let me write the example.
um,
Jamila is coming. Okay. Dictate me, please, when I.
mhm. When I broke my leg,
Mhm.
I was walking in the park.
I was walking in the park. Amazing. It's a good example. Uh-huh.
كمان بقدر أكتبها بطريقة تانية. I
Mhm.
was walking in the park when I broke my leg.
Uh-huh. I was walking in the park. Okay. When I broke my leg.
And
Okay.
while, let me give you an example.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. While I while I
Was
was
waiting.
while I was waiting the bus
For the bus.
for the bus,
Okay.
uh, the accident happened.
The accident happened.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we
Okay.
can write in this
Mhm.
way. When the accident happened,
Exactly.
I was waiting the bus for the bus.
Exactly. So the
Mhm.
accident happened while I was waiting. Okay, let me tell you
Mm.
something, Hiba, about using the when or while.
Zainab. Let's say.
Zainab, sorry, I'm Zainab, waiting for the bus. Keep in mind that if you want to start with the present continuous or the simple past, it is exactly the same. The meaning is completely the same. You will not change
Mhm.
the meaning. It's not about
Okay.
short and long action at all. But the only one thing I need you to be careful, again, please, Zainab, there is no difference if I want to start my writing or my talking with the simple past or the past continuous. It is up to you because both of them lead to the same meaning. But I need
Okay.
you to be careful about using the conjunction of when and while. If you want to use when in the beginning, you have to,
We want to put comma and
this comma
between
is
the
the
two actions.
pause. This
Mhm.
comma is the pause. يعني هي أصلا الفاصل أو بيسموها الراحة. البوز هي إيقاف مؤقت.
Mhm.
السر بالإيقاف المؤقت هي بالكوما مش باستخدام الوين والوايل.
Okay.
Okay? If you want to read both of them, you will notice that they have the exact meaning. Nothing is changed. But if you notice here that when I write while or when in the beginning, don't forget to use comma. ما أصلا وظيفة الكوما هي إيقاف مؤقت. ما لها علاقة لا بالشورت أكشن ولا باللونج أكشن.
Okay. بس هن they said إنه
No, no,
we must
no.
use when
Please.
with past simple and while with past continuous.
طيب المصيبة زينب هلا لخبرك شيء على فكرة، أنا عن جديد قررت أعمل فيديوز على اليوتيوب. أنا ما كنت مقتنع بالفكرة، بس ليش أنا بلشت أعمل فيديوز على اليوتيوب؟ أول شيء كتير أنا مصدوم من الأخطاء القاتلة اللي بيرتكبوها التيتشرز على اليوتيوب. كله هدفه الشهرة، كله هدفه الماني. هاي واحد. اثنين، مش كل شيء على السوشيال ميديا بيكون صح. يعني أنا شفت بيكتشر خطأ، يعني إذا بنستخدمه بأي انترناشونال إكزام حرفيا أنا حآخذ زيرو. وهي الصورة عملت لها أبلود من الفيسبوك. هي عن الوشز والهايبوثيسز. إن شاء الله تكون موجودة الصورة هون. يمكن هاي الصورة open before the lesson. This is it. Maybe. This is it. لاحظ الوش بتقول I wish I was rich. هاي الصورة completely خطأ، قواعديا خطأ، ومعنى خطأ، خطأ قاتل فادح. ما بتزبط بالوش والواز. فأنا شفت هيدي البيج وعملت لها أبلود بس لحتى أحذر الطلاب إنه مش كل شيء بنشوفه على السوشيال ميديا بيكون صح. هلا خدي نصيحتي زينب لقدام، نحن إذا بدنا نتعلم إنجليش سواء من صفحة على أكيد على الإنترنت أو من أي تيتشر تاني، إذا ما كان التيتشر مختص باللغة بصراحة ما نتعلم منه. هلا أنا ما بدي أحكي على العالم. زينب.
أنا أغلب الأشياء اللي عم بعرفها
مم.
عندي كتب هن
مم.
اسمهم أوكسفورد أو شيء،
مم.
فبيكونوا حاطين العنوان والشرح. إذا بدك بصور لك.
لا، إذا كامبريدج وأوكسفورد أكيد أنا ما بقدر غلط. هيك منهج بيكون صادر من أوكسفورد وكامبريدج. بس كمان يعني زينب، إذا قصدك أنت عم بتجيبي هالإكزامبل من أوكسفورد أو كامبريدج، بس زينب ما في أي ديفرنس. يعني حتى أنت مش بس
It's
تشوفي
a
من
great
مصدر.
idea. هيك
مم؟
أسهل علي إنه ما
حتى
بفكر أي متى استخدم when and why.
نفس الشيء، حتى كمان يعني ما نجرب إنه بس مصدر واحد. خلينا نجرب إنه نشوف أكثر من مصدر لنتأكد 100%.
أوكي.
يعني أعطيك مثال تاني زينب. good. good مثلا أنا إذا بدي أقول أنا جيد في الرياضيات أو عزف البيانو، هلا في تيتشرز بيقولوا فقط الجود لازم استخدم مع وفي تيتشرز بيقولوا الجود لازم فقط نستخدم مع خطأ نستخدم مع وكمان تيتشرز بيقولوا خطأ نستخدم بصراحة الجود بتزبط وبتزبط بالماضي يعني تقريبا من 10 سنين كانت فقط تقبل كانت خطأ بس من كثر ما كانوا الطلاب يستخدموا انجبروا يدخلوها بالديكشنري، فصارت صح. فأحيانا أنا مضطر زينب إنه دور على أكثر من مصدر لحتى
أوكي.
أتأكد. أوكي.
بعد في اليوزج تاعي الباست
مم.
continuous.
آه
فيني أقول لك شو هني؟
أكيد.
actions continuing in the past هيدي
مهم.
one.
مهم.
actions continuing in the past and interrupted by another action.
مظبوط.
Mhm. two actions happening at the same time هيدي خبرتنا هي.
برافو.
وبعد في actions that happened repeatedly in the past هن بس زايدين always. مثلا my dad was always talking about his childhood.
لا خبريني الإكزامبل again.
My dad was always talking about his childhood.
مظبوط على فكرة، صح. 100% صح.
وآخر واحد حاطين polite request. I was wondering if you could help me. يعني نفس الشيء can you help
هاي
me.
مظبوط. هو أصلا was wondering يعني أنا كنت أتساءل بالماضي، وأصلا هو الأكشن continuous كمان، صح.
أوكي. قلت بدي أتأكد منك
لا
فيه.
مظبوط، التو اكزامبلز بجننوا زينب.
Thank you teacher.
So I think guys I have to open the book and we have to complete. So this is it. Guys, our schedule is going to be changed in Ramadan because the problem that I have too much classes and all the students want the classes to be after iftar, after eating. So maybe we are going to manage to have 2 classes weekly instead of having 3. Absolutely only in Ramadan. after finishing this month, everything is going to go back to its usual. So I have to inform you again that in Ramadan, we are going to meet only twice a week because too much classes, too much courses. So please, you have to forgive me. And absolutely, the class is going to be after eating, not before, because I know that you will be tired, you will be hungry, thirsty. You will not completely focus on what I'm going to say. Okay, so guys, after finishing talking about the past continuous and after Zainab gave us great information about the using of this tense, now I think we have to discuss something new. This page, guys, which is about vocab, adverbs. Now, let's discuss the using of adverbs and the difference between the adjective and adverb. Too much people, guys, don't exactly know how to use the adverb and the adjective correctly. First of all, let me tell you that 80% of adjectives, 80%, not all of them, absolutely. 80% of adjectives, by adding ly, it will be adverb immediately. For example, notice here I have fluently. Fluently because I added ly. This is adverb. But if I want to delete this ly, it will be adjective. Notice fluent. Carefully is adverb, but if I want to say careful without ly, it is adjective. Patient, patiently. Brave, bravely. Heavy, heavily. Passionate, passionately. Now, how can I differentiate between the adjective and the adverb and how I have to use them in its correct way? Let me open a file and let me show you the main difference between the adverb and the adjective. If I want to say, for example, this example, my friend is a, Raed is coming. My friend is a careful driver. Okay. Keep in mind, guys, if you want to use the adjective يعني حتى باللغة العربية نحن إذا بدنا نستخدم الصفة لازم الصفة تتبع الموصوف. فإذا بنلاحظ driver is the noun and careful. Bravo. So note exactly. So approximately they are the same in the Arabic language. So we عندنا صفة موصوف. So notice that the adjective describes the noun. Describes the noun exactly. So in this way, I have to say careful driver. Now, if you want to change this adjective to adverb, you can say that my friend, for example, my friend
Drive carefully.
bravo, drives carefully. Okay. Now, I need you to notice that the adverb describes the verb. Notice that it drives is a verb. So the adverb describes the verb, but the adjective describes the noun exactly. So this is the main, exactly. So this is it. This is the difference number one in using and knowing the adjective and adverb. If you still don't know how to use the adverb all the time, guys, ask the question how. How does my friend drive his car? He drives his car carefully. So how do you do your job? I do it fast. How do you go to school? I go to school slowly. So by asking how, you know that if you are using the adverb or maybe no. So this is the first difference between them. Let me show you these examples, and after solving them, we have to know the adjective of these adverbs. Now, let's match A with B. If you want to drive, how should I drive?
Carefully.
Carefully.
Exactly. You have to drive carefully. If I want to love, how should I love?
Passionately.
Yeah, passionately. Exactly. Exactly. And if you have to speak, you have to speak
Fluently.
fluently, بطلاقة. Exactly. If it is raining, it should rain heavily. Heavily بغزارة. If you have to wait, you have to wait
Patiently.
patiently. Bravo, بصبر. And if you have to fight, you have to fight
Great.
bravely, بشجاعة,
Bravely.
exactly. So notice that, guys, these adverbs, if you want to remove the ly, they will be adjectives. Fluent, careful, patient, brave man, heavy rain, passionate person. So this is the first rule that you have to be careful. Notice this sign. This sign is saying, please drive carefully. So carefully, absolutely, is adverb because it describes the verb. Now, I know that you want to ask me, teacher, you said that 80% of adjectives by adding ly, they will be adverbs. What about the 20%? In level 3, keep in mind that we have 3 adverbs. I can use them just the same if I want to mention the adjective. For example, fast. Fast is adjective and adverb at the same time. So please keep in mind that fast doesn't accept the ly at all. Don't say fastly, because fastly is wrong. Not only fast, but hard. For example, hard, you cannot say hardly. So hard can be adjective and adverb. And late. Late, again, could be adjective and could be adverb. جايز في كتير من الطلاب بيسألوني تيتشر طب كيف يعني هلا أنا مسبقا شفت كلمة hardly مثلا I hardly see you طب هاي عم تقبل الالواي كيف عم تقلنا يا تيتشر إنه ما عم تقبل الالواي جايز hardly إلى معنى مختلف كليا أنا لما أقول I hardly see you عم بحكي عن معنى مختلف كليا عن hard أكيد إذا بدي أعرف hard هي بجد بينما hardly بإضافة الواي هي بصعوبة وليس بجد فأنا لما بقصد صعب تقبل الواي I hardly see you I hardly complete my job but hard إذا بقصد الجد أو العمل الشاق فهارد لا تقبل الواي لأنه أصلا إلها معنى مختلف كليا so please be careful because again this adverb has a meaning and hard here has a different meaning. It's the same with lately. Absolutely, I know that lately accept the ly. But as I told you, be careful because in this way you mean different meaning. So please, we have 4 adjectives. They are not the same. I mean, we cannot add ly at all. So please keep them in your mind because most of the students add ly and they deal with these adjectives as adverbs. Okay, now let me read the examples and you have to tell me if the word is adjective or maybe adverb. What about this example? Is this a fast train to London?
Adjective.
How did you know?
Because
train is
explain-
noun.
Bravo, we have a train. Train is a noun. Amazing. What about the second one? Slow down. You drive fast.
drive
Yeah,
adverb
Adverb.
exactly, because it is
because
exactly
explain
describing
drive.
the verb. The next
Mhm.
example is saying, I got up late this morning and we had a late breakfast. Which one is adjective? Which one is adverb?
The
First,
first one
adverb,
Uh-huh.
but the second, adjective.
Bravo. So late describes the verb, late describes the noun. Exactly. Finally, I work hard and I play hard. She's very,
both adverb.
both are adverbs.
Mhm.
You mean
I
this and this hard are
I play
adverbs.
Adverbs.
Exactly. What about the second one?
She's very hard worker.
Adjective.
How did you know?
لحقت worker.
Bravo.
A
So here
noun.
we have a noun. It describes the noun, and here it describes the verb. So this is the main difference between the adjective and the adverb. Still, we have some adjectives. Now we have to write the adverbs of these adjectives. I told you guys that fast, hard, late don't accept the ly. We still have a 4th adjective doesn't accept the ly at all, which is good. Good, absolutely, I cannot say goodly, Goodly is wrong. The adverb of good is what?
Well,
Exactly. So now notice the example. Play the game well or very well. So notice it describes the verb. So I cannot say goodly. You have to say well. So this is the fourth adjective. Please be careful because it doesn't accept the ly at all. Now let's use these adjectives in these examples, but we have to use them as adverbs, but not adjectives. So number one, if I want to play a game, I have to play it well and win. But what if you want to play a game and lose?
badly.
Badly, exactly. So bad, badly, add ly, and this is two. Three, explain the rules
Clearly.
clearly, exactly. So add ly, simply add ly to be adverb, and this is a three. Four, shut the door
Completely.
quietly.
Completely.
I loved it. Shut the door
Completely.
completely. Okay. If you are confused about using the correct adverb by solving all the
Slowly,
exercise,
sorry.
slowly or quietly.
Quietly.
Okay,
Shut
let's. Hmm,
Slowly.
I
Okay.
think completely.
Okay, let's skip four, and by the end of solving this exercise, we will know the best adjective or adverb. Five, if you want to forget something, sometimes I forget something completely. Exactly.
Complete.
I completely forget the date. So completely is five.
Mhm.
Now six, get out of bed. Maybe someone is sleeping next to you.
Quietly.
If you have, please get up quietly.
Teacher often be quietly.
بهدوء. Okay, Jamila.
Okay.
How slowly.
Okay, maybe quietly, maybe slowly, but absolutely, if you want to shut the door, you have to shut it how?
Slowly.
I think slowly is the best adverb. And here with the we can say quietly is the best one. So here slowly. This is number four. Now, if I want to play the piano, I have to play it
Perfectly.
Perfectly.
perfectly. Exactly. So this is seven. Eight. Pass the exam.
Easily.
Perfectly.
Okay, if you
Sorry, I don't play the piano.
play the piano.
عملتوها؟
Yes,
No,
how should we
لا
play the piano, Jamila?
Perfectly.
Yes,
ده حلو
perfectly.
عند الواحد perfectly.
Okay. Now, absolutely, if you studied hard, you can pass the exam
Easily.
easily.
Easy.
طبعا guys ما ننسى انه هيدا الادجكتيف بينتهي بواي واي adjective بينتهي بواي replace it with I and add ly, okay?
Okay.
Like happy. What is the adverb of happy?
Happier.
The adverb, not the comparative.
Happily.
What
Happy.
is happy is adjective. The adverb happily, exactly. So notice that happy ends with y, delete it, replace it with I, and as usual, add ly, happily,
الوعد.
crazily, easily. Okay. So if I have to pass the exam, I have to pass it easily. This is 8. Now, if you have to answer the questions, answer them
Honestly.
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 Don't lie. Exactly. So honestly, this is 9. So you notice, guys, that the adjectives above, which are fluent, brave, passionate, plus these adjectives, we have to add ly just to be adverbs. Okay. Now, I think this exercise is extremely important. Guys,
Teacher. Honestly شو يعني؟
honestly, بصراحة أو بصدق.
Okay.
Okay. Now, guys, if you remember when we discussed the simple present, for example, absolutely in the simple present, we have the adverbs, the time expressions. And again, if you remember, I told you, you are not free to use the adverb the place that you want. For example, I heard, guys, some students say like this: I eat junk food or fast food sometimes. Sometimes.
Sometimes I eat fast food.
Okay. Sometimes I eat, sometimes I eat fast food. Okay. These two examples, guys, are completely wrong. Let me tell you why. The best place for the adverb and the time expressions are after the subject if you have main verb. So sometimes should not be at the end or in the beginning. It should be before the main verb. You have to say
I
I
sometimes
sometimes eat fast food. إذا مصرين إنه نستخدم الادverb ببداية السنتنس, the only solution is to use comma. But please don't use it in the beginning without a comma. Don't use it at the end. At the end is completely wrong. And I know some students, again, they say, I visit my sister always. It is wrong. This is language, guys. This is not formal English. So you have to say, I always visit my sister. Okay. I know that you are still confused, and I know that you are asking yourself this question, but teacher, what about the rest of the verbs? Where shall I use the adverbs? Let me show you a picture. This picture summarizes the best places, or let me say the correct places of the adverbs. Don't use the adverb the place that you want. It's not like this. It is, again, this is language. This is it. Okay. Let me, sorry. Let me show you this picture. And please focus on what I'm going to say because it's really important. Notice, guys, these adverbs are time expressions about the simple present. If you remember, we said that the time expression of the simple present, we have never, we have sometimes, usually, often, always. Okay. Now, how I have to use the adverb. Keep in mind, please, if you have main verb like go, run, sleep, milk, climb, collect, use the adverb before the main verb. For example, I never milk the cows. You sometimes climb the trees. She usually collects the eggs. This is rule number one. Rule number two is saying if you are using verb to be, not only verb to be, if you are using verb to be, if you are using verb to do, even verb to have, even modal verb. Let me write them. Verb to have and modal verb, you have to use the time expression or the adverb after them immediately, not before them. Take a look at this example. I am usually late for school. Don't say I usually am, for example. It's wrong. He is often at home before 3 o'clock. I cannot say we often are late or early because it is wrong. Notice with the verb to do, I don't always ride ponies. He doesn't usually swim in the sea. You don't sometimes look happy. Even as as I told you in the modal verb. For example, I can always help you whatever you want. I will always love you. So notice that because I have modal verb, I have to use the adverb after them, not before them, not at the end, not in the beginning. But you can use it in the beginning, as I told you, but don't forget to use the comma, because in this way, again, it will be slanguage. And slanguage is really bad. It's not the formal. Now, let's apply what I have just said by solving exercise 5 and 6. Now, exercise 5 is saying, let's correct the word order of these sentences. Notice number 1 is solved, which is saying she speaks very well English. Because very well is adverb, I have to say she speaks English very well. Guys, again, 60%, please listen to what I'm going to say. Only 60, not all of them. 60% of the adverbs that end with ly, use them at the end. 60%. And all the time, all the time, all the time again, to, as well, plus well, use them at the end. Well or as well. This is well. So again, if you want to use to, if you want to use as well, this is to, for example. If you want to use will all the time, you have to use them at the end. And 60% of the adverbs that end with ly, you have to use them at the end. Now let's apply all of these. Absolutely, I have to say she speaks English very well. I cannot say she speaks very well English because it is wrong. 2. He started last week a new job.
He started and
New job last
Bravo.
week.
This is the time expression at the end. He started a new job last week. 3. Please read carefully the instructions.
please read the instructions carefully.
Bravo. Carefully is an adverb and I have to use it at the end. 4. Do you work still for the same company?
Do you work for the same company still?
Are you sure?
Do you
Guys,
still work?
do you still work? Notice that work is a main verb. Because work
Mhm.
is a main verb, I told you have to use it before the main verb. So do you still work for the same company? 5. Never I can remember her name.
I can never remember her name.
Bravo, this is the modal, and I have to use the adverb after the modal. I can never remember her name. 6. We had last year in Spain a holiday.
We had a holiday
Bravo. We had
last
a
year
Last year.
in Spain
in
last
Spain last year.
last year. Guys, the arrangement of the adverb of time and place, all the time, the adverb of a place becomes before the adverb of time. لأنه أحيانا بيجوا مع بعض مثل ما لاحظنا بهالإكزامبل. إذا إجوا مع بعض, please remember that the adverb of a place comes before the adverb of time. The adverb of time all the time is at the end. So we had a holiday in Spain last year. So this is about exercise number 5. Now you have to be careful in exercise number 6. Now let's put the adverbs in their correct places. Number 1 is saying, my grandmother is 75 and she goes swimming. We have nearly, still, and regularly. What do you think?
Regularly.
Regularly.
Uh-huh.
Regularly.
regular يعني بوتيرة مستمرة.
Yes, بانتظام. Uh-huh. Okay, what else?
My grandma is nearly
Bravo. My grandmother is nearly 75. Okay.
and she goes swimming regularly.
Where is still?
لازم نحط still.
Absolutely. We have to use all of them.
She still goes swimming regularly.
Are you sure?
And I have no
Okay.
idea.
Let me remind you the rule. I told you if you have main verb, you have to use the adjective before the main verb. So I have to say
And she still goes
bravo. And she still goes swimming. Use regularly at the end. Bravo. And I told you that this is verb to be, and I have to use the adverb after verb to be. So I have to say my grandmother is nearly 75 and she still goes swimming regularly. ما ننسى انه اذا بدي اقول regularly at the beginning, please you have to use comma. Regularly, comma, my grandmother is nearly 75 and she still goes swimming. Both ways are correct. Now 2. Do you love me?
يعني still.
Still ما يزال أو ما زال. Do you still love
Okay.
me? هل ما تزال تحبني? Yes, I do. Okay.
Okay.
Till طبعا till حتى ما ننسى انه till حتى وuntil كمان حتى ما نخربط بين till و still because absolutely they are different. Now two, do you love me? I do, I will love you.
Do you really love me?
Bravo. Do you really? Because this is main verb. Do you really love me?
I do, of course.
Are you sure?
Of course I do.
Of course I do. Exactly. Okay.
I will always love you.
Bravo. So this is modal verb, so I have to use it after. I will always love you. Don't say I always will love you because it's wrong.
Mhm.
Now three, I was relaxing with a good book when someone knocked the door just really loudly.
I was just relaxing
Bravo. I was just relaxing. Okay, amazing.
with a good book
With
when
a good
someone
book. With a good book when someone.
uh, he knocked on the door loudly.
Loudly. Amazing. It is at the end. Okay. What about really?
When someone really
Bravo, Jamila.
knocked.
Knocked. Knocked is a main verb. So when someone really knock the door loudly. So I was just relaxing with a good book when someone really knocked the door loudly. By the way, we can know if you have a mistake. Okay.
Mhm.
Number four is saying, my sister is 3, but she can
Is
read.
only
My sister is only 3. I loved it. We have verb to be. So my sister is only 3. We still have already and
she can already read.
bravo, Zainab. She can already read
read.
or read, sorry. And she can write.
write too.
Bravo. And she can write too. This is it.
teacher 4 كيف صارت يعني أخي؟
This is it, Jamila. My sister is only 3, but she can already read and she can write too. Okay, Jamila. Jamila, are you okay?
Yes teacher okay.
Okay. Now 5. 5 is saying break the eggs into a bowl with some
Only,
milk.
only break the eggs.
We have first, then,
Okay,
immediately.
sorry. First break the eggs.
طبعا guys, bravo. First, second, third. These conjunctions should be used in the beginning. First of all, don't forget the comma, please. First, break the eggs into a bowl with some milk and butter. Heat it gently. When it is ready, serve the scrambled eggs with toast.
Then hit it
Then heat it gently. Amazing. Okay.
when it is ready, immediately serve the scrambled eggs.
Are you sure? Okay, let me say immediately serve. So I have to use immediately here. Okay, let's
teacher
say.
تجي في الآخر.
Yes, absolutely. I can say immediately at the end. Okay, some say that I have to use it before serve, and someone said I have to use it at the end. Okay, so let me write these two options, and we have to listen to the recording to know. So first of all, break the eggs into a bowl with some milk and butter, then heat it gently. When it is ready, serve the scrambled eggs with toast immediately, or when it is ready, immediately serve the scrambled eggs with toast. 6. All my friends have a mobile phone. They are on Facebook. My dad's on Facebook.
All my friends have
Bravo.
easy.
Bravo. Almost